All right, everybody, we're going to talk about how to lose weight and keep it off and how to come up. I want to really talk about how to come up with a strategy. I don't expect people to be like me, where they count every bite of everything they take. And I know exactly where my macros are every day. Even when I'm out of town, I track everything. I got my little tracker and I put everything in. And so Brian wants to know if we're going to talk about fat people. I don't think we are, but we're going to. Anyway, that's Brian. If you guys didn't know, that's Brian right there. Personal trainer at Parkway Athletic Club in Carson City, Nevada. Thanks for being here, Brian.
Couldn't be happier than to sit with you, Steve, and have this conversation. For all you that are wondering what's up at the Parkway, always remember this: Parkway's the only way. Come see us.
That's a good one. You came up with that all by yourself?
Hey, this is what I do, Steve. I make it happen for
We got
everybody.
to put you in the marketing department.
You should.
All right. So I always talk about a teeter-totter. You make wise health choices, it affects the teeter-totter. If you don't, that affects the teeter-totter, and everybody gets to make their own choices. Everyone's got to find the happy medium, so to speak, for them. Maybe you want to go out and have a couple beers on Friday night. That's going to affect your teeter-totter. If you want to have 3 or 4 beers every night, that might not be good. That might be something that you want to cut out. If you want to eat cake and ice cream every night, that might be something that you also want to limit. So you can make small adjustments if you're just starting this and really get benefits, and you can maintain those benefits. If you go, take the low-hanging fruit, depending on how much you're overweight, you might lose 15 pounds and go, hey, I'm happy here. I get to eat this. I get to do this. I only have to exercise this much, and I can stay right where I want. It's acceptable to me. So that's what everybody gets to decide, how much effort you want to put into this to look a certain way. Your thoughts, Brian?
Weight loss it's always been a challenge for me in my life. So I'm very clear on what for me is going to work and not work. And back in the contracting days when I would have to make weight and things like that, in theory, I would eat certain ways to make sure I stayed at certain levels. However, it doesn't matter to me when somebody comes and says they want to lose weight. It doesn't matter to me how they're going to necessarily attempt it, because I'm going to have this simple conversation with them. Why? Once we figure out why they want to lose weight, hopefully I can figure out that, a lot of the times it's going to be, well, my reunion's coming up. Oh, we got a wedding in 6 months. Oh, we have this and we're going on a cruise next year and I want to be able to fit in some things. Things like this. Look, those are good little things to get you started. But once they get there, what do? If they lose that 15 pounds, if they lose that 20 pounds, are they going to just lose weight for that event? Or do you want to live a healthy lifestyle? Do you want to make behavioral changes that will bring success for you in the longevity of your life? Do you want to eat in a certain fashion or a certain way that's going to minimize you in the area of high risk disease like cardiovascular disease, brain disorders, respiratory issues, diabetes, things of this nature? This is all really important on how you're going to eat and why you're going to eat. If you're just doing it to drop weight, to me, that's nothing more than creating your own special little fad diet. So I like to find out what the purpose is because I want to have the conversation when it comes to losing weight. I want to have the conversation, well, how long do you want to keep it off for? Because you've got to ask this. When people jump on these diets and they say, oh, I'm going keto. Okay. I'm going, what was the one back in the day? Miami Beach, South Beach. I'm going the Atkins diet. I'm taking semaglutide. I'm taking, what's the other one, trapezinamide or whatever it's called. Why are you doing this? And what's your plan for when you've hit your goal? And what's your plan when you're going to come off the medications? What's your plan after you're there at that point? How are you going to maintain that weight loss in a healthy way? Does it mean you're going to go back to eating these foods you weren't going to eat because you restricted your diet, which isn't always a good thing to do? So I think first thing you do is define why you're going to do it. And do you truly want to make a change for your lifestyle? If you want to change your blood lipids, if you want to change from being a pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetes and you want to try to have an impact on it, you have to make a behavioral change in your approach to food. I struggle in that. So I understand how hard it is with this. So for me, it's not as easy as calories in or calories out either. Because for me, if I want to hit my muscle maintenance goals of food, I want to get 280 grams of protein in, let's just say, or I want to get 250 grams of protein in, let's just say. If I'm going to do that, how many steaks is that? Well, if you say a large steak is around 25 grams of protein, I now got to eat 10 steaks to get there. Can I do that? How many calories is that to get to those 10 protein or to get through those 10 steaks? These are all these things you need to know to be successful. I love the fact that Steve knows every bite. And we're just kidding, but he knows every bite that's going in and how much the value is of that because he dials them in his passion to maintain fitness and overall health. I can promise you he didn't always eat this way, but he's made those behavioral changes so he can stay lean like he is right now. Our peers here at the gym, these trainers, they have lifestyles on how they eat. It's not a crash diet. And for some of them, they started out overweight and they've leaned their bodies out. They've made the behavioral changes. Now they're very successful in maintaining their health, their body, their fitness levels, and keeping their body fat percentage down. So when you're going to diet, ask yourself why. Because if it's an immediate fix for an immediate situation, I promise you, the moment you start falling off of the way you're eating, you're going to gain all your weight back. If you're not going to gain it all back, you're going to gain more of it back. Steve?
Yeah. What's your objective? You brought up so many good points there. What is your objective? And there's another thing that I would ask someone if I was trying to help them lose weight, and I'll tell you what that is in a second. But you brought up a lot of great points. What's your objective? Well, I want to get a six pack for the summer so I can get married. And then, okay, then what are you going to do? You're going to get fat again? You just tricked your wife? That's kind of unfair. I thought you were this, but you're really that, because you're right. It is going to come back if you don't change your lifestyle. And if you don't get from point A to point B by changing your lifestyle, it's not going to stay. Um, and it's not by counting every calorie. It has to be a lifestyle that you can accept. Now, you said that it can be difficult for you. I would ask, for instance, do you know why? Because a lot of people don't know why. Now, you're not overweight, but a lot of people don't know why they're overweight. Seriously, they don't. It's not just because everyone's a pig and they just eat, buckets of ice cream every day. Some people do that, and those people know why they're fat, right? But some people don't know why they're overweight. They don't know why they struggle. It could be a hormone issue, or they don't know what to eat. They don't know that, hey, I'm not eating enough. I'm not eating enough protein. My macros are off. So that would be a question that I would ask someone sincerely is, do you know why you're overweight? And I'm just curious, Brian, how many people do you think really don't know why they're overweight? You probably know where your weight is and why it's that and why it's hard to get it off or whatever. But how many people do you think really don't know why? If they're being honest, they don't know why they're overweight.
I'm going to say better than 2/3 of the people that consider it have no idea. And
Really?
I would venture to say it's higher than that. And that's not a stick in the eye to anybody. There's so many factors. Ask yourself, if you're in a career where you're overstressed and all you're doing is sitting and typing, overstressed, working the books, got a big case coming up, defending yourself here, defending yourself there, the big sales coming. Then you got to get over to a cocktail lunch in, do this, and then you get your 40-minute workout in, and you're still gaining weight. You got to ask yourself, what's the big issue going on? Well, I bet you a nickel if you're in a high stress lifestyle, your cortisol levels are elevated, your body's in fight or flight half the time you're living, your body won't allow you to do this. For other people, and I find this a lot in our generation, we were taught the way to stay in shape was to eat itty bitty bits of food. Especially a lot of the ladies. This is not a gender issue, so don't blast me. But a lot of the ladies that I work with were told, oh, just you should be under 1,100 calories. You should be under
They're not
900
eating
calories.
enough.
If you starve your body, you're not going to lose weight. I've been to the gym forever and I don't lose any weight. And the moment we get them eating around 2,000, maybe 1,800 to 2,200 calories, and they work out as hard as they do, and they're eating high quality foods, the weight comes off and they can't figure out why. Well, it's because they're undernourished in that sense. I'm not a doctor. I can't explain why the body does it. I just know that it happens. So I think it's very important to know why you can't lose your weight. If you're not going to your physicals, if you're not getting your bloods done, men, I hit the men a lot. If you're past the age of 40 and your stomach starts to grow and you're still hitting it hard and you're still working hard, you need to get your bloods done and see where your estrogen levels are. You need to see where your testosterone levels are. You need to see, I can assure you your NAD plus production is not, or your NAD production is not where it used to be. There's so many factors that are going on. Women, if you're reaching those ages where you're premenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal, your body's done so many shifts and your hormone levels have changed so much that it's fighting each other. You're not going to be able to lose the weight you want to because you're not balanced. It's the same for men and women. It's just different things are going on with the bodies because we're made differently. But it's kind of the same issue. You got to be getting your physicals. You got to figure out why. There's a ton of specialists out there that can really define that. If you're not talking to a nutritionist, do you really know food, or do you eat the way you eat because somebody told you that this diet system's the best thing you can do for you? Do you know what you're putting into your body and why? Are you addicted to white flour products? Do you buy your food from the boxes, or do you get stuff that's new, organic, fresh? All of this plays into it. Define who you are. When we sit and we talk about weight loss with clients and things like this, some of the simple things we go back to are, give me a 4-day snapshot of what you're eating. I want to know when you eat it, how much you eat, and put it in a thing and give it to me in about 5 days. Do your homework. Boy, you'd be shocked at what people don't know that they're doing to their body. And it can tell you a lot about why they can't lose weight. You couple that with their career, the measurements in their bodies, all their markers, their hormone levels, you're going to get a whole new story. And you'll be able to figure out, and they will have success once you put it all together and balance them out. Steve?
You blew me away with that number you estimated. You basically said you think 65% of all people don't know why they're overweight.
Right.
That blows
If
my
not more,
mind. That,
they might think it's just food, but it's not.
see, I would guess, and put, what do you guys think? Put that in the comment section. And if you want to know more about our weight loss program, put that in the weight loss or put that in the comment section, and I'll get back to you and tell you more about it on what we do to help people lose weight, because we have a program in the gym. So I would think that number is way lower. I think
No.
most people, that's why that's fascinating me, because I would think most people know why they're overweight, and they would say, I eat too much. Now they might be wrong, but I would think that most people would say, I eat the wrong foods and I eat way too much. And you think it's only 30% or 35% of people would say that. I know why I'm overweight. I'm a pig. But
what I mean is,
65%, you're saying, "I don't know why
yes,
I'm overweight or why I gained weight." That
th-
fascinates me, and you might be right. I don't
they
know.
think
That's
they
why
think they know, Steve.
I'm interested in what everyone listening to this thinks. What do you think? Do people know? Because I definitely know some people do not know why they're overweight. They don't know. It's usually a hormone issue or something. Maybe it could be stress, it could be sleep. And especially as they get older, they go, "Why am I getting fat? I'm doing everything I did 20 years ago. Now all of a sudden I'm fat." Yeah, maybe they don't know why.
You
But
know, Steve, I, I,
that
I
question just fascinates me.
I think it's a simple thing too, because more people might tell you they know. And what are they going to say? I overeat.
Maybe
That is
that might not be why.
that is just one part of it. You can be on a good diet. You can eat well. We see it all the time. Clients in here all week long eating pretty good diets and they can't drop the weight. There's something else going on. Everybody says I eat too much. Everybody says, I drink too much beer. I drink too much of this. Oh, I eat too much of that. It's deeper than that. You don't know why. I know,
Y
I
y
know that sounds arrogant,
No,
but
no, it doesn't. It's
you and I study our bodies. That's why we know, bro.
this question fascinates me because people in the gym, they're all interested in their health, but most people in the gym are overweight. That's why they're in the gym. It's silly. You hear people, "Oh, I can't go to the gym. I gotta lose 15 pounds first." That's crazy, right? But you hear that. I'll go to the gym after I lose 15 pounds. I gotta look better. No, people in the gym are overweight. Most of them, because I'm there every day. I look. Most people are overweight, but I always think that's why they're in the gym. But I totally agree with you. There's definitely some people who don't know why. They're just baffled by, why am I gaining weight? And they might be eating the worst food. They just aren't educated. They don't know that that's why you can't eat that. And it's maybe not too much. It's too much of the bad food, but you add up all these bad things that people eat, sugar and you know, the glyphosades in so many things and seed oils and all that stuff. And they're eating all these things and they don't know they're eating them. And so that could be a reason why they're overweight. And maybe they don't know that, but that's just, I really am interested to hear what you all listening to this think about
Well,
this.
think about this, Um, let's say you are somebody that comes to the gym and you watch what you eat. And then at night, you go home and you drink a couple glasses of grape juice because that's your favorite beverage at night. And then you go to bed. To me, that's no different than the person that goes home at night and for relaxation has a couple glasses of red wine and then they go to bed.
Well, the grape juice has more sugar in it,
It
and
does.
you're gonna
It does.
jack up your
It does.
insulin and your glucose and
I'm
everything right
just
before you go to bed.
I'm just saying they may not know what they're doing to their bodies, you know? And we always fall back on the easy answer. Well, I overeat. It's way more than that. And Steve, we can use me as an example. I am heavier now than when I retired. And everybody who does follow us, I've shared this story
But
through
you're
my
leaner.
correct, correct. So what's going on with my body to make that happen? So am I overweight or have I made changes? What am I working on to get my body leaned out? There's so many other factors. It's one of the reasons why, although I still lift heavy, I knew I had to stop the whole I want to be the world's biggest power lifter, even though I wasn't everybody. I was amateur compared to the studs out there. But the body can't necessarily hold that much weight. So I have to figure out a way to trim it down, right? Well, is it the food? Is it the stress in my world? Is it the imbalances in my body? Is it the medications I'm not on medications? What is it? The medications I'm on? There's so many factors. And until you start nailing it down and looking at these things. The biggest thing for me, and that I think, obviously I balanced out, everything with TRT and things like that. But the other thing, and this is what I really learned, is in my past career field, it was a world of hypervigilance. Your body's up, your body's down, your body's up, your body's down. And all of us were gaining weight. And we all hit the gym, and we all lifted, and everybody was, rocking and rolling. But that lifestyle tends to keep you heavy because of the career field. That was a law enforcement career. And you can really hold on to it because cortisol levels are fired out. Everything's crazy. And you'd be eating, you'd be trying to eat good, but you couldn't lose the weight.
I know
But you're in
why.
the gym.
I know why. Police officers always hang out at the donut shops.
It's exactly what was going on. And it's the donuts. And I heard we smelled like bacon. Anyways, with that said, now that I've studied my body, kind of like Steve, but I'm not as in depth as Steve is. Steve's a little psycho about it.
I am.
But he's good at it. But when we learn who we are and what we are internally, and you start studying this, and yes, I've spent the money to use specialists to learn about all this myself. It was worth every single penny. Now that my A1C is going down instead of going up, now that my cholesterol is the lowest it's ever been instead of continually going up, now that all these things are changing, because I took the time to really learn what was going on about me so I could attack it. That's why I say 2/3, if not higher, have no idea. They think it's about this food. They think it's about the 6-pack of beer, and they don't even know. They're just going along with the easy answer. I eat too much. I'll push the plate away. It's not that simple.
Yeah, it's not, but that's interesting. So, Brian, as always, very good conversation. And you guys put your comments in the comment section. I want to know what you think. You think Brian's wrong or am I wrong? So, Brian, as always, thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you next time.
See you, everybody.